This cookbook refers to the Ballstown a Pioneer's Cookbook. It is a companion cookbook to the Reminiscences of Ballstown, Echoes and Whispers of Forgotten Legacies. This companion cookbook puts together food and communities and what they may have eaten, or traded, or given to others. Many prominent citizens who are community-based, political, lawyers, judges, and doctors and bankers, were also farmers or they owned farms. Some citizens built their own communities, such as the Bloods, who created Bloodville, but they also took care of their workers and their family that made up their small hamlet. Citizens who lived close to the springs or various creeks that weave in and out around Ballstown may have had more than just industry at their fingertips. Farmers were also traders, so they could trade or sell part of their crops for goods that they could not grow, harvest, or hunt. Food is more than just sustenance. It's a way to express care, kindness, gather communities, and join people at the table. Church members would often give their faith leaders gifts of food and treats, and especially if the faith leader wasn't married. This book is a companion because it will provide links to the stories of families that sat around their table and enjoyed the fruits of their labor and gave thanks for the bounty, whatever it was, and no matter how much or how little it was. Some recipes seems like they are repeats. They are to the extent of the meal, but depending on who was doing the cooking and who they were cooking for, the ingredients available to them, each kitchen created their own version of the same meal. Unless someone was a bachelor or a chef in a restaurant, the cooking was always done by the women. It was mostly the wife and mother, or even daughters, and sometimes the replacement wife and mother. This is not meant to be derogatory, but there are instances when a wife and mother pass away and her sister or the husband's sister step in to help keep the house and raise the children. In cases, if it's the sister-in-law, the widower would marry the replacement wife. If a caravan was traveling, it was the women, no matter children, wives, mothers, sisters, or maidens, they would cook, clean, gather herbs and vegetables, and create the fire to cook by, while also looking after the children, theirs and others. Men kept the camp safe, hunted for whatever game was available, or fished in the nearby watering hole. They made the camp, but the woman kept it up, not just with cooking, but anything that was considered women's work. There were times, though, when women had to step in and help their men set up camp. If the travelers were just one family in a covered wagon with livestock following, setting up camp, or even laying the foundation for their new home, temporary home, the women had to help. Women were a lot stronger than some gave them credit for. This isn't your typical cookbook. It's not a step-by-step cookbook of ingredients and measurements, but it is about food, not just sustenance, but comforting and enjoyable. Sometimes when there is an empty belly, a simple broth would taste delicious. This book shows how the same types of meals was made with various ingredients depending on what was available to them and where they were. Maybe they were traveling to their ultimate home or on a trip to visit relatives. Maybe they were eating at a home or were in the military serving our country, moving from camp to camp or fort to fort.